Bom dia, Portugal!
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Carl Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. Feliz Natal, boas festas e bom ano novo. It's the last live stream of the year of 2023. Do let us know your favorite moments of this last year, which has been amazing. We've done so much this year. And thank you very, very much for your support throughout the year. To you old timers, you veteran Gumpers, and a few newbies as well, who we welcomed in the last few weeks and months, even days, actually. So thank you for being here this morning. We'll have a bit of fun today. I will continue the fun that we began last night, actually, the Expats Portugal Christmas quiz. I think we'll have a bit of this morning as well. So thank you, Jerry. Brilliant quiz last night. A fantastic introduction to Portuguese dining at Christmas from Astrid as well, and some lovely video from Jackie. Good fun last night. Very good. It wasn't recorded. It was more of an intimate and closed party for those who were there. A great time was had by all, but we can relive some of the fun of the quiz throughout this morning's show, where we're joined by Frank at around 9 this morning. I have a report from a little bird in is it Tavira? Yeah, I think we're down there in the Algarve anyway. That Frank was out partying, but he's a professional, not unlike myself earlier this week, feeling a little bit like this picture here. This is my favorite. I've got a theory about aguardente bottles. They are the shape of how you feel the next morning. There's that one, and there's a pattern emerging because there's this one as well. Look at that. Kind of dimpled and wonky as well. That's the sort of state these Portuguese fermentations leave you in potentially the next morning. So Frank joining us at around 9 this morning, and Bobby saying hi as well at around 9:30. I want to light up Christmas straight away this morning with T-Duck's fabulous video that graces our homepage today. All of those lovely Advent videos and messages brought us to the 22nd today. We're past the solstice. It was about 3:30 this morning. Those dark days are behind us, folks. The sun has been reborn. It slowed down in the sky to a standstill, I believe, at around 3:27, and now it's making its way to show itself, his self, herself, their self more in our daily lives. So the lighter days are back. The sun has been reborn. And let's keep lighting up Christmas here with T-Duck's fabulous and very carefully and thoughtfully made video. This is T-Duck's Christmas Advent video 2023. Let's light up Christmas. That was very, very good. Thank you very much. Lisboa, Obidos, Caldas, and Sevilla. A little bit of Spain in there as well. We've been to Spain a couple of times for the Advent videos. That's superb. 2 minutes of pure Christmas joy there. Thank you very much, T-Duck. Also for your deep thought this morning, your dad jokes, and the lies we tell our kids. I think you're going to be going into Portuguese bureaucracy with your virtual metaphorical samurai sword to slash through the long grass of bureaucracy this morning. So good luck. Boa sorte, my friend, with that. And thank you so much for, before you go this morning, thank you so much for everything you have done for the show this year. In all sorts of ways, and for your friendship. So thank you very much. Have a great day today, and looking forward to seeing you during the Christmas break. And you also have a message for the coach. That's a new thing just recently, isn't it? T-Duck's advice on the God Squad tips of the day, or his quips. Quips for the coach. So have a great day and good luck with that bureaucracy. Let's have a look at those messages then from the three wise men of the Gunpocalypse who've been sturdy, steady, and strong of leg and limb and arm and brain and heart all throughout this year. Thank you. Great job, James, Ian, and T-Duck. Being there in the mornings, it's such a joy to turn up and know that you're there with your contributions to the show. So thank you very much indeed. And here they are this morning as well, with James in first this morning, funnily enough, at 10 to 8 or thereabouts. Bom dia, Gampas. Feliz sexta a todos. Como tem passado. And we're going to go further and further with this Portuguese language of ours, aren't we? We're going to move beyond the hola, bom dia, and tudo bem moments, I think. How about we do that as a little bit of a resolution? I don't think any of us are fond of resolutions, but if we're thinking more of how we're going to be rather than what we're going to do, how about we be a bit more Portuguese and go deeper into that lingo in the new year there, James? I'm commandeering you into that process, which I'm sure you'll be okay about. A truly bad holiday dad joke warning. You say it, man. What would Santa be called if he went down a chimney with the fire going? Crispy Kringle. I'm thinking that might be a little bit of a US-based joke there, Crispy Kringle, but we get the idea. Thank you very much. And before I forget, and I'm very open to being prompted this morning, if you have sent me something and you're fearing I've overlooked it or I've been overwhelmed, feel free to remind me in the chat. We've got some photographs of the meteor shower, M-E-T-E-O-R rather than M-E-A-T-I-E-R. Who doesn't like a meteor shower late at night or first thing? Oh, dear. So thank you, Owen, for those. Distracting myself there. Thank you, Andy. Bye, Andy, for highlights to come in the Bairrada. And also, that's this weekend and over Christmas, of course. João F, we haven't seen so much of this year, but still holding a very dear place in our hearts, and a video and a lovely image from the Tejo River this morning. Thank you, João F. And anyone else who sent me anything, if you think I might have forgotten it or it's been buried, feel free to prompt me. Where was I going? Ah, yes. James's other visual dad joke here. Master, I have learned a new lesson. Forget the past, you cannot change it. Forget the future, you can't predict it. And forget the present, because I didn't get you one. Might have to use that this Christmas. Very good. Thank you, James, for that. Great to see. This is a lovely picture of Veronica on the right there. Thank you so much. Lovely to see you and Carl Hyde yesterday. Good stuff. And their reports from the Algarve and from Lisboa from a real estate point of view for the new year. If you didn't see it, you can watch that on Catch Up on our YouTube channel, which is going from strength to strength. So thank you to everybody who's subscribed as well to the YouTube channel this year. A mindful moment from James then. The best preparation for a better life next year. Very topical. The best preparation. This is from Thomas Dreyer. For a better life next year is a full, complete, harmonious, joyous life this year. Very good. That's excellent. The best preparation for a better life next year is a full, complete, harmonious, joyous life this year. Talking of the present moment there. And a Feliz Natal e muito boas festas a todos from James there. Thank you very much, James. Thanks for everything. See you on the first Monday. Oh, we'll see you on the first of the year. That's when the live streaming will return on Monday, the 1st of January. We'll see you then, mate. And we will be releasing videos every day between now and then, but this is the last live stream of the year. So let's have some fun today. And I will put the link to join us on the screen into the chat as well. so that if you want to come onto the screen and issue a greeting to the Gumpers, do that. In fact, I'll get that ready now. Join us on screen. Okay, brilliant. If you want to do that, that'll be going up soon. Coach Turner then, in at 7:54. Bom dia, Gumpers. E feliz sexta-feira. Yes, of course, putting the sex into sexta-feira for the last time. Talking about João F there. Sexta-feira. Como estás? Are you ready for the big day yet? The excitement is building. The food is prepared. The wine is chilled. And wham! Another Sunday night card game. All right. And talking of wine being chilled, trying something Portuguese as I think I might this morning. Thank you, Amy and Greg, for this lunchbox wine. That I'm sure this is how they get the kids drinking sensibly here in Portugal. This goes into the lunchbox maybe as they get older, 7 or 8, that sort of thing. I'm going to try that this morning as we toast this year and next. I think that's going to be my try something Portuguese this morning. Not suggesting you drink irresponsibly at home, but if you want to give it a go this morning, it's no better time. Happy Christmas, everybody, and have a joyous and blessed new year. Thank you, Coach Turner. Incredible service to us this year. So thank you very much. And of course, you can go through the plan step by step with support from the coach at gmpvip.com. Great work this year. Thank you very much, Coach Turner. And here's another one for us this morning. An article I read yesterday pointed to some recent research looking at older athletes. It seems that older athletes wanted for study. It seems that those who took up running later in life will be able to perform better. That's interesting, isn't it? Than those who've been running since they were young. Damaging joints, tendons, and ligaments when still growing has long-term consequences, and is something I'm very aware of as a coach. I've come to this fitness party quite late in life, I have to say, and I think I am at a bit of an advantage. I do have some injuries, but I didn't play much sport as a kid, I have to say. Got a Saturday job earlier on, and did that instead and escaped the school sports teams. And we do make kids play games from an early age, don't we? Maybe we should switch things round. I mean, what, instead of like damaging all their joints when they're young, what else could we do? We could exercise their brains, or just leave them alone to play for a good long while, right? So that's interesting. The good news, however, says the coach, is that apparently the potential you have, well, I would hope so on every level. So maybe if you've maximized your walking efforts, now is the time to break into a run and show the youngsters. How about that? Lastly, in this time of excess, try to balance it with a little gentle exercise, and most importantly, enjoy. A little of what you fancy does you good, doesn't it? And moderation and all those things, and getting up to go for a little stroll after the big meals of this season before you explode like a Monty Python wafer thin bloke. Why not get up and have a little walk around the block to make more room, or visit the vomitarium? That can be quite a good way of making more room for food as well. T-Duck responding then. Good morning, coach. When you said exercise, I thought you said extra fries. Yes, supersize me, coach. And of course, T-Duck was in as well at around 8 o'clock. Bom dia, Agria Gumpers. Feliz sexta-feira a todos. And you're dealing with bureaucracy today, but not too busy to give us some wonderful content, dad jokes, and the lies we tell our kids. Thank you very much for these. We will return to them throughout the show. Deep thought: a bad habit never disappears miraculously. Miraculously, I can say it. It's an undo-it-yourself project. Abigail Van Buren, who we've been hearing from this week. Pauline Phillips came up with the pen name Abigail Van Buren by combining the name of the biblical figure Abigail in the book of Samuel with the last name of former US President Martin Van Buren. I've never heard of him. Why have I never heard of him? A US President, Martin Van Buren. How long ago was that? Turn you back for a moment. No, it must have been a long time ago, right? So that's how Abigail Van Buren got her name. A bad habit never disappears. Her deep thought of the day via T-Duck. It's an undo-it-yourself project. That's a good way of looking at personal growth, isn't it? Undo-it-yourself projects. Thank you very much, T-Duck. Wonderful. And dad jokes, which will be squirreled away for later. I think we might do the lies we tell our kids right now, though. Yes, very seasonal. I'm going to tell Santa, which, of course, has become Elf on the Shelf. Yes, the Elf on the Shelf will tell Santa everything. Honestly, not only the lies we tell our kids, but the trauma we create within them, and creating lots of work for the people like James in the psychotherapy business. Santa is tired of cookies and milk. He now prefers nachos and beer. Oh, look, those nachos and beer you left out for Santa, they've already been eaten. That's amazing, isn't it? He must have been very hungry. Bon fin de semana, says T-Duck. Y Feliz Natal. And thanks for that fabulous video as well. Smash that like button, he says, before he disappears to go into the bureaucratic long grass. Gary Orgles is here. Merry Christmas to the Munson family. Thanks, mate. And right back at you, igualmente to the Casa Orglish. Hold on a minute, I need to cough. I've been making myself laugh already this morning. That's not a good thing when you're trying to speak. Do you get called Orglish here in Portugal? So to Casa Orglish, to Familia Orglish, right back at you, igualmente, and we'll start to catch up in the new year. I take from that comment that you've been very busy embedding yourself and doing your gaff up your new place. It takes time. And this was a message from the, not the webinar, but the party we had last night, Expats Portugal. Talking of which, actually, let's do the first quiz question for you. Let me just put this in your pipe so you can smoke it. Question 1 then from last night. Christmas dinner in Portugal is mainly celebrated on Christmas Eve. What dish is absolutely essential to this occasion? Thank you, Jerry, for this. Jerry Laura, of course, from Expats Portugal. Is it A, octopus? Is it B, turkey and stuffing? Is it C, codfish? Or is it D, plum pudding? Your answers in the chat, if you don't mind. And yeah, so a message that came forth, because people are still dealing with some challenges as they try and make their way to Portugal. It's quite difficult, I think, when you're all about coming to Portugal and then the Christmas slowdown occurs. And you're seeing us having a great time over here, and you just want to be here and join us, but all the wheels of migratory industry are grinding to a halt for the season. And some people were feeling a little bit blue about their plans. So we did our best to cheer them up. And another point that was made, Gail and Dwight, I hope you're feeling better, Dwight, this morning. Had a bit of a fever. Gail looking after you very nicely by the sound of it, and the Portuguese health system, it has to be said, is that to rest when you get here. It takes longer than I think any of us realize. People do get poorly and ill because you get stressed, and then your body kicks in and says, okay, I'm here now. I'm going to have a rest, whether you want to or not. We are having a break. So you've got to factor that in, and things do take longer than you realize. Anyway, not just because of Portuguese bureaucracy or the culture or whatever. It is a slower culture, and that's why you moved here, remember, for a quieter life. And then everything in life, I think, takes longer than we would like it to. So give yourself time, Senor Orglish. Baddy's here. How's it going in Iceland at the moment, Baddy? Been in the news quite a lot recently. You and your country folk there. Hola, bon dia, alegria. Wishing you all a very Merry Christmas from snowy Iceland. Can we have a picture, please? That'd be lovely. Any pictures you've got, 913-590-303. Hola, bon dia, says Larry. Happy Christmas to all. Like Santa, we will be flying off to the US on the 24th. How lovely. Merry Christmas to all. Looking forward to return to San Martino de Porto in February. Thankful to all who have helped us. I met somebody who's building some houses in San Martino de Porto yesterday. Brilliant bloke. Absolutely amazing man with an incredible building operation and some rather fine-looking homes that he's got planned for this town. So yeah, wow, it was quite the eye-opener to find out what goes on, down a quiet country lane. And there's if ever you've wanted to build in modular style here, steel prefabrication, this guy does it. Lovely man. Great to meet you yesterday, George. And Larry and Linda, safe journey home. Happy Christmas to you. See you back here in the new year. Okay, and I'm glad you've had a somewhat stressful time occasionally, but I'm glad you've had a generally great time of it here in Portugal, a taste of life to come, and the family atmosphere that you've experienced with the gang, Marco and all the team at the Storytellers. I rather enjoy, talking of highlights from the year, I rather enjoyed those Mindful Migration Mondays with that James fella, says the Banana Slug, funnily enough. And keep those highlights coming. What did you enjoy about this last year? That doesn't have to be to do with this community necessarily. Lovely to hear what you enjoyed about Good Morning Portugal. But what else did you do and enjoy in 2023? And what are you looking forward to next year? Tony time, everybody. The man in the menu is here this morning. He's here because, of course, he will be seeing me and Frank flirting quite soon. Flirting with a frankly festive Feelgood Friday. Bit of fun this Friday. And Bobby joining us at 9:30 as well. Bon dia alegria, he says. Feliz sexta-feira. Looking forward to the bromance today. And that's Antonio up there. Antonio Barbosa. João de Norte also up there in the north. Merry Christmas. Toros. Antonio F is in as well. Bon dia, Toros, as well. Deborah. Hello, Deborah. Lovely to see you here. Fantastic. Where you been? How are you? Hola, bon dia. with a lovely big kiss. I'll take it. Mwah! But she knows right back at you as well. Deborah, Owen's in. Let's show Owen's pictures very quickly here. This is a beautiful picture of the moon last night. Is that a planet next to it there, Owen? And you're trying to get some. I'm not sure how well you're seeing this, but there's an exposure of the night sky. Can you explain to us which set of meteors is? These aren't Perseids, are they Ursids? I can't remember which group of meteors you're looking at, but just generally speaking, the night sky has been so lovely, even where I am in quite a well-lit town on the edge of a well-lit town. Been lovely walking the dogs and looking up into the cold night sky. One of the benefits of the colder weather, I think. Staying with the pictures then, thank you, Joao F, for this. Look at that beauty there. If you don't mind there, Owen, I'm just going to move your comments so we can see that in its full glory. And that's going to go up on GMP VIP with the lovely pictures, a little collection of pictures, an outburst of beautiful images that have been shared over at GMP VIP. That's a beauty. That's from Joao F this morning. And thank you very much, Joao F. Haven't seen so much of you lately, but you hold a very dear place in our hearts. And we hope to see more of you next year. Today's sunrise by the Tagus River. You see, he says Tagus. I said Teja, didn't I? Tagus, the Roman name, I think, for the Teja, right? And of course, the bridge, Ponte 25 de Abril there with the sunrise. Absolutely beautiful. Let's watch your video, shall we? You put together a little video, which you sent on to me. And this is the Alentejo a couple of days ago where you found yourself. This is an absolute beauty. Some lovely guitar music here. And it really captures the beauty, stillness, I think, of the Alentejo. So thank you for doing this. 30 seconds of the Alentejo here. But given that it's the Alentejo, it'll probably feel like a minute. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Joao F. Hope to see more of you in the new year. Lots of love to you and yours. More people joining us this morning. How lovely. A full house this morning. Great to see you. The Portugal Sun. Bom dia, alegria. A todos. Feliz Natal. I hope to see you more in the new year. I know you've had quite the time of it. Great to have you in the country, however. You and your family. Last half of 23 has been a challenging one, but a good one. Feel like it's been forever. Hope you're all well. We're doing good here. Great to see you there, mate. And yeah, onwards and upwards for 2024. And I don't think I read all of Owen's greeting this morning. Hola, bon dia, wishing everyone a very cool Yule. And I felt your pain, Portugal Sun, the other day. I was watching Sporting playing Porto as if to add insult to injury, right? A meteor shower. Ouch. Yes. I mean, it's like when you spin it round to the fine needle dart setting of the shower, isn't it? All sorts of images for people this morning talking of meteor showers. Feliz Natal, Jack Polly, see you soon. And yes, got your message. See you in Caldash on that very special date of the 17th of January. We're going to be with Anila, Mama Anila. We can call her. She's allowed me to do that. And I'll bring this up onto the screen now. Places are going very quickly. I think we've got about 15 places. What with me, Bobby and Andy filming. And I think there are about 15 places available. The Englishman, the Irishman, and maybe you walk into the Indian restaurant, which is Flavors of India. We're going to be cooked for by Mama Anila. Beautiful food. Everything made from scratch and just with her loving care and attention. If you like sag paneer, the cheese and spinach curry, she makes the cheese for that herself. The butter chicken, is that a taka dal there possibly? The chickpea curry, butter chicken. That's what I had when I was there. Absolutely exquisite, beautifully presented, and presented beautifully by. Oh, Papa. I was going to call him Papa Anila. That doesn't work, does it? But by Anila's husband, whose name I forget, forgive me. But he was there, and his care and attention as well. The service was beautiful. And we're looking forward to doing a filming event there and having you come and join us for lunch there. And it's going to be a great menu with lots to try, including a soft drink at €25. So let me know quickly We'll have to give GMP VIPs priority on that because I think the demand is going to be quite intense for that one. 17th, and of course on the 27th, we'll be at the Storytellers. Just a quick reminder there, if you're going to join us for the 27th and lunch thereupon, do let me know. Siobhan is here as well. Feliz Natal, amigos. Wishing you a wonderful holiday season. Thanks, Carl, for your morning shows. It's an absolute pleasure. What else am I going to do except fester in bed? No, it's an absolute joy to get up and do this, and I'm looking forward already to doing more in the new year. It's quite a wrench for me to tear myself away from live streaming for a whole week, but I still will be publishing videos on the YouTube channel. So Jack Polly, good to see you. That'll have James moving forward to the edge of his seat. I hope I haven't missed anyone. Exactly that, Carl. What's that? Let kids play and train them harder and make them think a little bit later on in life, perhaps. Yes, codfish is the right answer to question 1. I'm going to put another one forward for you then. Let's go to the next question. Worldwide, more people speak Portuguese than French, Russian, or German. How many countries in the world speak Portuguese? Is it 6? Is it 9? Is it 12? Or is it 15? There should be an image where there's a black box there, but that adds to the air of mystery with that particular question. How many countries in the world speak Portuguese? I guess as their primary language, because people are speaking Portuguese all over the world with the 2 million strong diaspora. That sounds like a fruit when I say it like that, doesn't it? Bon dia from Sarah Yeoman. Good morning to you, Sarah. Great to see you. Yup, bacalhau, codfish. Well done, everybody, for getting the first question correct if you guessed bacalhau or codfish. The N2 was the highlight of my year. Yes, my goodness. I mean, we've forgotten a lot about what happened this year. Forgot you'd gone there, and you sent us the lovely pictures. It opened my eyes about bicycle touring in Portugal. It's amazing, and we'll do more. Cycling the N2. The Yermans can tell you all about that. What a lovely memory. Thanks, Sarah. The N2, yes, the Route 66. There's going to be more action on that road next year, I can tell you. Jupiter and her moons. Ooh, that sounds so nice, doesn't it? It sounds like a good name for a band. And just a photo of the clear night sky. Okay, I thought it was the definition of my screen. I couldn't see much going on there. But yes, it has been beautiful. The clear night sky, a lovely time of year to go out stargazing. And of course, those nights are getting shorter now. Really enjoyed a week in Greece with my family in July, despite the heat. Looking forward. Yes, because you were, that's right. Another memory there that's coming back to me. You were over there at that risky time of wildfires, weren't you? Looking forward to a couple of big trips in the coming year. Yep, Route 66. Told you. Week in the Eternal City at the end of January. I don't know what the Eternal City is. Coach Turner, let me know if you will. Then the Porsche in Portugal trip in April, May, here for the Carnation Revolution celebrations, and of course the Summer of Love that will begin on the 26th of April. That's my prediction, everybody. Feliz Natal, a todos from a dark, rainy with a slight touch of snow in Stockholm. You're already there, Anna. Amazing. And Michael Whitby, bon dia todos. And this reminds me of one of my great favorite memories is hosting a Discovery Weekend here in San Martino de Porto. And all of the Discovery Weekends, starting those this year, has been amazing. Thank you to everybody who came to those. We'll do more in the new year. And I think we'll have a couple a year here in San Martino de Porto. Bon dia todos from the Whitbys, de uma manhã ensolarada em VRSA, off to, would that be Lulé soon for the third attempt to get the matriculation done in my French import car. A little bit of bureaucracy before Christmas. Good luck to anyone who's doing that. Santa's favorite elf is here. Who's that, I wonder? Rugby Colin, Merry Christmas to all. I'll see you at Anila's, the man who introduced me to that fabulous establishment. Thank you, Colin. That's a real memory. Me, you, and Mike going for a curry there. I don't think I'll have very much, says Mike. Oh, okay, just a little bit then. I've got to go now. Oh, no, I'll just have a little bit more. Mike, who thought he was just having a little taster with us, ended up staying for the whole meal. So good is it there at Flavors of India. And he's been back, I think, several times thereafter. A Merry Christmas to all Gumpers. Have to go soon to last yoga of 23. She will make it a tough one. Work it, Colin. I hope you've got your nice your spandex leggings on, ready for that. I can see you in that, in my mind's eye, in your spandex yoga pants. And I really wish, I mean, no disrespect, I really wish I couldn't. Enjoy yourself there at yoga this morning. I enjoyed joining you all from Dublin this year. Wow, yes, another great memory from 2023. So many. Fantastic. And your Santa's favorite elf. Morning, Ben. How you doing? Lovely to see you here this morning. My goodness, what time is it for you? Hope to meet you in person in the new year. Ben, thank you so much, and great to see you here this morning. What does Mrs. Claus sing to Santa on his birthday? For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. Very good. That link, if you want to join us on screen, it's going onto the chat right now if you want to join us. If that doesn't work, let me know and I'll send it to you via WhatsApp. Let's do some of these highlights coming up in the Bairrada while we're waiting for Frank. This morning, I have to take that comment off the screen so we can actually see it. New Year's Eve party. If you haven't got one of those planned, Mama Rosa are having one. DJ Luis will be there. Just €10, and children up to 6 years of age don't even pay. Each table, up to 10 people, can count on being offered a bottle of sparkling wine and a bola de rei, a king's cake as well. And midnight, there will be a traditional raisin ceremony, and for supper, a warm caldo verde soup. Isn't that lovely? In the lovely village of Mama Rosa. If you haven't got a plan, you can rock up there. Isn't that amazing? Couple more then before we say hi to Frank this morning. New Year's Eve party in Amoreira de Gandara in the Bairrada, Passagem da Ano, with music there, €6. We've also got the New Year's Day swim. How about that? That's a good way to blow the cobwebs away, isn't it? If you're a bit hungover. Bagno de Ano 2024 is a historical and well-known activity of the region. It gathers hundreds on Praia de Barra who, fulfilling the tradition, enter the water 3 times, applauded by the supporters, who also gather on the beach to watch the fun. Fancy dress optional at 10 a.m. in the morning. My goodness. Good luck to anyone who's doing that, dipping anywhere in the Atlantic on New Year's Day around Portugal. New Year's Day dip as well at Anadia at the Praia. This is a river beach rather than the sea. January the 1st, we count on everyone for the first dip of the year, plus Leitão, of course, if it's in Anadia. That's superb. All of these on the Gumper map. Thank you, Andy. Big shout out to Andy for keeping that Gumper map going. Anyone else who wants to put events on there, especially those of you who complained you can't find out what's going on in Portugal. They never tell you where anything's happening. The Gumper map is a good place to do that. Festival in Casal is one of the things on there. In São Tomé, in Mira, it's a beach town, of course, where we saw a video from Andy just recently. São Tomé in Mira. And last couple then, free New Year's Eve party. A free one in Cantanhede, the Passagem da Ano. So Cantanhede, they like their music and their festivals there. They're having a free New Year's Eve party in the Praça Marques de Marialva. That's a good bottle of fizz, the old Marques de Marialva. I bought that as a present and drank it myself this week with Richard. Good to see you the other evening whilst Mrs. M was out on the lash. She's just about recovered. Anyone worried about Mrs. M? She went on a proper binge. She has been concerned about my drinking just of late. And guess what? She had quite the adventure. Still recovering from that, Mrs. M. We need to get some tips off Frank, I think, on how to recover from such goings on. Free Molicero boat rides. So that's the canal boats of Aveiro there on the Boco River, Vagos in Aveiro. The fabulous Molicero boats, Os Violas, will dock at the Fareja Bridge. If I remember rightly, that is quite the special bridge there in Vagos, and will for the first time be open to the public to sail along the beautiful Boco River. A first here in Portugal. You've seen it on the Gumper map first as well, thanks to Bairrandi. Cheers, mate. Thank you so much for everything you've done and all those lovely videos of walks in the Bairrada district as well, flying the flag for that wonderful, wonderful, underrated part of the country. Let's give him a nice big round of applause. He's here. Oh my goodness, look at you. Ole, 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 ole.
There you go.
Are you in the toilet, Frank, by the way? You looking well tiled behind you there as well.
Yes, it's not a toilet. It's my kitchen. It's a corridor
narrow.
in the kitchen.
Okay,
all right. It's quite narrow.
I thought you were joining us from the.
But I could be if you'd like me to. I could. Anything you'd like me to do, I'm ready to do it.
Really?
It's that kind of show. You know how it is. Yeah, it's that kind of year.
So how are you? Lovely shirt.
Thank you.
One that I think Owen will approve of. I know you guys give each other a lot of stick about your football shirts.
Yeah, I think this would be the only jersey Owen would probably approve of.
Yes, yeah. I've been watching Ted Lasso. Have you watched that? Talking of
football. Yeah, I did. It just after I managed to brave through one episode. It was kind of interesting, but it just didn't do much for me. Did it do a lot for you? Sounds like it did.
I would enough to keep me watching it because I like some of the. It's a bit kind of cheesy and contrived, isn't it? I think would be a criticism of it. But I do like his character. I do, and the interplay between him and the boss, and some of the things he says. I can see myself in Ted. He's a sort of positive thinking everyman, isn't he? So and yeah, I'm hanging on in there, and typically I'll suggest something. Mrs. M.
I thought I'd never hear. I thought I'd never hear that.
What?
Well, you saying you saw yourself in Ted. It's all right.
Not like that.
Moving right along. Go ahead.
Yes. So how are you? What are your big memories of 2023 then? You've moved, of course, haven't you? A bit further along.
Yeah, I've moved. I've moved to the other side, the complete other side of Algarve. It's beautiful, and here's evidence of how beautiful it is.
Oh, here we go. See the evidence.
Have a look.
Oh, very nice. Is that? Can you see the sea there beyond that tree then?
Yes.
Oh, how lovely! How lovely. Superb. Yeah, nice car park.
Yeah, very nice car park.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful area, and I'm really enjoying it. Getting to meet the locals, go to some of the expat meets. And that's always very nice. But that's not where you find the locals. You usually find the locals at the Tashkas, getting hammered. So you got to take one for the team.
Well, thank you for your extensive research on behalf of the Gumper community and foreigners worldwide who like to know.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if anyone wants to give me credit for all this research, but I've been working hard.
I think you should get funding for it, quite frankly, from the Portuguese Tourist Board, because you must.
They should,
shouldn't they? I was going to say you should be. You're probably spending a lot of money, but if you're going to a local Tashka, you'll be spending less than most people do on a night out, I suspect. Good time you're having in Tavira by the sound of it. They say it goes quiet in the winter, but now that you're living there, I think you're reversing that trend, aren't you?
We are reversing that trend. I don't think this kind of place should remain quiet. I think there's a lot to do over here. Well, even if there isn't, now that I am here, we're going to revive a few things. It's the kind of season where, you can't have things quiet. And some of these places, what I've realized, the reason why they seem quiet is because they have lock-ins.
It's your kind of town, isn't it?
Yeah, they have lock-ins. So what happens is, and this happened to me like a few weeks back, where I went into a place. It was like about 10 o'clock at night, whatever. I started getting along with everyone. So what they did is they said, well, this was a part of them ingratiating me into the community. So what they said is that, Frank, you will stay here. We lock doors. I said, okay. I hope people don't start taking their clothes off. It's not that kind of party, is it? And then they were like, no, it's not that kind of party. It's going to be whatever. So they kept the place open till 2, but there was a nice lock-in, and we sat around, and it was wonderful. And my Portuguese, with every 15 minutes, I realized my Portuguese got that more fluent.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? It's funny. I don't know how that works, but I absolutely believe you. And is it like the cat moment where the door opens and it's like, are you going out or are you staying in? And
that's it.
You're right. You have to decide at that point which side of the door you're going to be on. And
but I think two of the town's elders had decided I was staying. So so they were like, you're not going anywhere. So I was just like, all right, well, let's see how this goes. And as soon as we had sat down, and there was food coming, and there was drinks, and there was Super Box and Sagres, and everyone and then obviously there was the Medronho.
Very good. Excellent. So you really are feeling at home in Tavira by the sound of it. And I think generally this whole thing about is the town quiet in the winter, that's going to be a thing of the past in so much of Portugal in the coming years, isn't it? It was, what do they call it in the travel industry? The shoulder of the season is ordinary. I mean, people are understanding, aren't they, that you can come and have a good time here at any time of year. There is no bad time to go. Yeah, and what I don't know why that's taking so long, but you can come and have a great holiday. I think there was a Metro piece from the UK saying that come to Portugal at any time of the year. And the Portuguese tourism authorities, marketing people would be wise to send that message around the world. You don't have to wait for the peak season, do you, to have a great time in this country?
I think the mistakes being made by foreigners or immigrants coming over here is that they want to go back to that pub and they want to go to those places. And of course, those places will be dead after 6 o'clock, because as you know, us coming from Canada, UK, US, if by 6 o'clock in the evening we don't have our dinner, something happens to us. Yes. So the thing is, at 6 o'clock everything goes dead. Of course it does. But you go into some of these small Portuguese tascas, and 6 o'clock is when things are like slowly. 6 o'clock is when João is like rolling in the bottle of Medronho and all that kind of stuff. And by 9 or 10, things start heating up. And then by that time, they don't. I was asking the guy, I go, so senor, what time do you have your license still in this place? And he goes, Frank, license. I was just like, all right. I know it's kind of technical at this point of night, but what time do you usually? And he goes, 2, 3 in the morning. Yeah. But I close when I want. I close sometime at night at 9, and everybody who stay will stay. You make a very good point. So the worst case scenario: a tourist comes over, goes out for dinner at 6 o'clock with their espadrilles on and their cologne in a typical old school holiday style with their partner, and nowhere's open, and they think to themselves, this town is shut down for the winter. And it's not the case, is it? It hasn't shut down for the winter. It's not. It's just not open yet, and you need to get with the program. We need to create a video, don't we, on how to holiday in Portugal with these sorts of pointers in there. And just because it's called the pastelaria does not mean that they just do baked goods. This pastelaria becomes a proper disco at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. There you go.
If you look at the top shelf in a pastelaria, there's always going to be this caper going.
Exactly.
Just in case anyone needs a little bit of a pick-me-up whilst they're having a pastel de nata here in Portugal.
It's because over here the tradition obviously is the going to the tasca or pastelaria where people get together, and like, you know, you're not going to a pub and whatever, and folks need to kind of get that out of their head that you need to go to a particular bar or pub to feel the warmth of someone's embrace or a drink.
Yes, absolutely right. So there is a guide in the making here, I suspect, how to be a boozer in Portugal. And it's how to leave your expectations, how to manage your expectations. Because if you come thinking you need to eat, like you say, I mean, what do people think is going to happen to them if they haven't eaten by 7:30?
I just don't get it. Or maybe like if they can like take like some mobile food with them. So maybe like, you know, take your prawn sandwich with you. That would be nice.
Portuguese packed lunch.
That's it.
How about that?
Yes.
I'm going to try this morning. This is gifted to me by Amy and Greg. I mean, I made the joke that this is how they get kids acclimatized to drinking wine in Portugal. You put one of these in their lunchbox. But that is quite the amazing thing, isn't it, when you see it for the first time?
And try that. Like if I actually bought these boxes because I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do some cooking with these. Like, you know, the ones in Tetra Pak, this one and the red version. Yes. So I was like, I'm going to cook with this. And as I'm cooking with this, I'm like, let me try a little bit. You know what?
I knew that was coming.
I was like, this can't go wrong with this.
Yeah, right. I'll give you my verdict on it in a little while. Bobby's joining us at 9:30, so we'll have a little bit of a toast, I think, a little bit later on. Aviva's with us. Bon dia. Any more tips you've got for the travellers coming to Portugal? I think you've hit the nail on the head there. It's been kind of killed off in the perception of people and the expectations. But if you know how to be here properly, like a Portuguese person, you'll have a fantastic time any time of the year for sure. Are you drinking a pumpkin smoothie this morning?
A pumpkin smoothie? No, it's tea, but I could do that for you. It's not a problem. I can manage that if I can find the pumpkin somewhere. We're very accommodating.
Carl, stick with it. It gets deeper and more interesting. That's me getting into Ted Lasso, the show that is, says
Oh.
James there. Abrazo, Frank. Look, the bromance. Love is in the air. Everywhere I look around. Tony
My
Tyler.
buddy Tony, I was talking about him last night. I talk about Tony a lot. It's wonderful.
I'm not surprised. Alcoholics dream Portugal. I'm not saying that. We can't be using that as a slogan.
No, that's not. It's. But don't you kind of find that it's also kind of. I've actually heard this from a few folks from Canada, United States, and UK. Once again, is that I can't drink before like 2 or 3. How is that going to look and whatever? And then the problem is when you start drinking after 3 or 4, then it's like, all these drinks in one shot. Meanwhile, the Portuguese, in the morning, they'll have a café con cheirinho and, a little bit of warmth there. Then in the middle of the day, maybe some wine with some lunch and whatever. So it just rolls not because they're alcoholics. It's just because they just know how to manage their alcohol. Yeah, and they do a very good job of it.
Can you imagine what it's like for a Portuguese person in the Algarve, seeing somebody in a shirt not unlike yours, who's arrived on a cheap flight with Ryanair, gets to the Algarve and starts drinking Guinness at 10 in the morning, and is working on sort of British values and timescales. And the Portuguese must be like, why is that guy drinking so quickly? Why has he had to have 4
Where
Guinness?
Are you going? And this is what I've heard.
Yeah. Easy, calma, tranquilo. That needs to be in our guide as well. What's no Man United shirt? Says Owen. I don't know if you want to.
This is for you. This is for you, Owen.
It's a good choice. It's 1 a.m. in California. So thank you so much, Ben, for being here at that ungodly hour. And just replay these last 10 minutes. It's a proper shout out to drinking in Portugal. Well, it happens sometimes. And if you tune in later on and see me drinking this at 9:30 in the morning, it's going to look even worse. But you've got to set these things up in context. Lord Gilchrist is here with a big Frank and an Antonio and a James. He's glad to be yodeling.
But you know what? I've actually seen. Sometimes you see the homeless folk walking around, and they're never carrying the Tetra Pak. They've always got a bottle on them. This is a very classy country where, even the less privileged can have a bottle or 2 of wine without worrying about the cost thing. And as a matter of fact, some people are kind enough to take them inside and buy them a bottle or 2.
Well, I've done that in the UK, and I remember taking a fella what happened? He was outside the supermarket asking me if I'd buy him some booze. And it's a difficult situation, isn't it? You're thinking to yourself, different parts of yourself are firing off, aren't they? Like, well, this is this guy's life and he needs a drink and it's flipping cold. And like, no, I better not encourage this errant behavior. So anyway, I took him inside and bought him some booze. And I said, what do you drink? What do you want? And he said, well, don't look down on me, because some of the other fellas looked down on me for drinking. I think it was Lambrusco. He'd like to Lambrusco under the arches of Newton Abbot. This was
classy, dude.
The reason being, and why I suddenly remember it, is because it's got a screw top. Now, if you've got to make this last, you've got a good chance of spilling it, haven't you? Something like that. You want something with a screw top, or at least a cork you can put back in if you're buying for somebody under those circumstances in this season. And why not? New viewer says, I didn't realize this was a show about boozing it in Portugal. Well, other types of shows are available. You've just caught us at a particular moment. What do you expect? It's Christmas.
Wow, there's a theme going on with Sly and the Family Slug.
Yep. What do you call a snowman that can walk? He's trying to change the subject here away from booze. We're going to bring it back in just a minute.
Yeah.
There you go. We've got more dad jokes for you later, Frank. Don't worry. We've also got a Christmas quiz. There's probably a booze question next. Let's see.
God, you've built a reputation for me, Carl. You shouldn't be doing this.
No, Frank, you built the reputation for you. I merely smacked that golf ball down the fairway that you put on there.
Yes.
Worldwide, more people speak Portuguese than French, Russian, or German. How many countries in the world speak Portuguese? Is it 6, 9, 12, or 15? The Expats Portugal Christmas quiz. What would you estimate that to be, Frank?
I would estimate that to be 12.
Okay, I think you might be right. We'll come to the answer. I can't actually remember the answer to that one. Here's one we'll remember, and this is quite useful. Some nice cultural insight here. Question 3. Traditionally, when do Portuguese children open their Christmas presents? on the morning of the 25th of December. That's how I was brought up. Although when my parents ran a pub, we did it the Portuguese way, as I recall, on Christmas Eve, as soon as they receive them, and they don't get any presents, the children in Portugal. Question, answer D there. Question 3, answer D. They don't get any presents. So what do you think? When do kids open their presents here in Portugal?
Oh, same night when they get the presents. There's no waiting till the morning.
Well, because their grandparents are spoiling them. Well, actually, the official answer is Christmas Eve. That's when the pile of presents under the tree gets opened on Christmas Eve, and you don't have to wait until Christmas morning.
And by Christmas morning, that toy is broken.
Yeah, right. Or that we have to be searching around the house, take the batteries out of the remote control, or whatever, to make it to power.
Because you've had enough. Jimmy won't stop, little Jimmy.
Taking the batteries out, right. We have a question 4 here about the scale of Portugal. Oh, Mrs. M's joining us with a box of chocolate. Life is like a box of chocolates. They're here in the studio now. What US state is closest in size to mainland Portugal? Is it A, Texas? Is it B, Utah? Is it C, Ohio? Or is it D, Indiana? Squire of the Shires is in. Morning, Squire. Oh, I can't eat chocolate while I'm talking to Frank. I mean, it's just because he won't be able to understand what I'm saying. What do you think, Frank?
I think it's Indiana.
You think it's Indiana? I can't remember that one either. Must have been drinking last.
You got to quit this gig, man.
Look at this. Here's the quiz question we've been looking for. What level of drunkenness?
Oh, there we go again. Oh, God.
Oh,
is he a representative for MAD? Is that what he is?
What is MAD? Men Against Drinking?
No, Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Well, yeah, fair enough. Quiz question then. What level of drunkenness is the most desirable in Portugal? Is it A, tipsy, B, boisterous, C, slurring, or D, falling down? Never falling down. That's what we like about this culture. Just tipsy and happy, right? High on life and a little bit of aguardent there. And bon dia to you, Squire of the Shires. Indiana says, blimey, that.
Yeah.
She's that can't be a Christmas present, that scent, but she smells like she's just covered herself in air freshener from the lavatory there. I can barely talk in the studio. I might have to open the window.
Someone's sleeping on the couch tonight.
Well, yeah, it was her 2 nights ago, Frank. We won't go into that right now. Okay,
stop it.
Indiana. Did you guess Indiana as well?
I did guess Indiana.
Okay, I can't remember that. But we will come back. We have got the answers a little bit later on. We'll do another one of these for the moment, and we'll come back. We've got a few more. When you buy Christmas gifts or any other items in Portugal, how do you ensure they are Portuguese products? You only buy in Portuguese stores. You ask the salesperson. It won't be in the Chinese shop then, will it? But if you only buy in Portuguese stores, ask the salesperson. That's a good shout. Look for the label Portugal, so L. And alternatively, you can phone the Expats Portugal hotline and ask for Astrid on that. Jerry's little joke there. So what would you say the answer is to that one?
I don't know. Usually the Portuguese products, usually it says proudly Portuguese in Portuguese. So the thing is, you will find it right on there.
Yeah. Okay. So and
it's none of those.
You would support that, wouldn't you? Of course, buying local.
Absolutely, you should always be buying local. Do not buy anything that is not from here, unless you have to buy certain things.
Yeah, like Gordon's gin
are not manufactured. Gordon's gin,
right?
Or a single malt. It's not going to come from here.
Yes. So although I mean they do make gin here here we go, talk about booze again. There isn't a whiskey yet in Portugal as far as I know, and maybe it's unlikely to be. We shall see about that. What are you hoping for 24, Frank?
Well, peace, love, and understanding, more of that.
Yeah. For yourself or in the world, or both?
Both.
Yes, it's not easy being us, is it? Well, yeah, a little bit more understanding would be great, everyone, if you don't mind.
Yeah, if you roll back some of these videos from 2020 or 2021, we weren't that much peace, love, and understanding, were we?
It's true. It's true. Well,
especially with the COVID lockdown, remember?
Absolutely right, mate. And it's been a really weird time. There is a vacuum. I think a vacuum has occurred. Nature abhors a vacuum. So do us human beings. My proposal is, and I've written about this in the Portugal Resident this week, and I think I can count on you as being a leading ambassador with this project. April 25th, great. We're going to be celebrating, aren't we? 50 years since the Carnation Revolution. But what about April 26th? Let's keep the bunting up. Let's bring forward the spirit of the Summer of Love from 1967 and have a Portuguese Summer of Love based on the incredible legacy of the Carnation Revolution and what didn't quite manifest from the Summer of Love, because it went back to consumerism, I think, didn't it? What do you think? Summer of Love in Portugal?
It's always beautiful, but it's always Summer of Love over here.
Thank you. All right, Summer of Love 2.0 then. We'll take it to a new level. Can I count on you?
Yes, for sure you can. You can always count on me.
Okay, Bobby's in the green room with his lad. Is your boy here to tell us some dad jokes, Bobby? Have we got some Christmas jokes from your man there? We'll see in just a minute. Actually, let's give him a big round of applause. Let's bring him onto the screen now. And we'll have to take the frame off the screen. Mrs. M will be joining us in just a moment as well. She's making a coffee. Morning, Bobby.
Morning. How's it
Who's
all?
this you got with you this morning?
This is Jackie Boy.
Jackie Boy is here. Morning, Jack. How are you?
Hi.
Hello. How's it going for Christmas?
Good.
It's going well, is it? Yeah. What are you hoping for this year for Christmas?
I don't know. I didn't make my wish list yet.
Oh, you've got a while yet. It's still only the 22nd, so there's still time. There's still time for Santa to be sent a fax from Dad's office.
Chemicals.
You like what?
Chemicals.
A chemistry set. That's a nice traditional gift, isn't it? So a chemistry set.
Chemistry set. That's the first and last kid who's ever going to ask for it. This is beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Frank, meet Bobby. Bobby, meet Frank, and Jack here, of course. This is
Frank.
Frank here, Jack. How are things in the O'Reilly household? Getting excited for Christmas?
Yeah, we're more or less set up now. We're having a lot of people over for Christmas Day, the traditional Christmas Day as we do with the dinner on the 25th.
Carl, is it just me or I can't? There's no sound coming from the O'Reilly household.
Are you not hearing Bobby?
No, can't hear him.
Oh, okay. I don't know why that would be. I will do a simultaneous relay.
All right.
I've lost him now as well.
Nah, I'm joking.
He's getting ready for a traditional Irish Christmas lunch. Would that be? So how do you?
Oh, there you go.
That's looking good. So how do you roll in the O'Reilly
Good
household
man.
Christmas Day?
Oh, we do the traditional. We go a whole hog. So full turkey, full ham, which I got from your good friend.
Yes, back to the bacon. Yeah, back to the bacon in Caldash.
So I have him thawing now at the moment. It'll be the usual Brussels sprouts, marrowfat peas, carrots and parsnips, a couple of different types of potatoes, even traditional trifle along with, and then a chocolate biscuit cake. A friend is bringing a, how do you call it, a cheesecake, a baked cheesecake, and so on and so forth. And we have South Africans and another Irish couple joining us as well. So
how lovely.
With their kids as well. So we'll be doing the whole hog.
Literally, or part of it, certainly with the ham from Back to the Bacon. Superb.
Yeah.
Because Jack's here, we're going to do the dad jokes right now. And if you've got some jokes for us, Jack, that'd be awesome. You know what it's like when you come onto this show. I hope you have got a joke for yourself there. Keep it clean as well. I've heard some of your jokes by your dad. People who say that their wedding day was the best ever have obviously never had two Kit Kats fall out of a vending machine at the same time. That is a very special moment.
That is a very special one.
And a broken drum is the best Christmas present. Seriously, you can't beat it, Jack. What?
Yeah, same here, Jack. Don't worry about it.
Okay, is British food really that bad? Talking of Christmas dinners, if made correctly, yes. It's kind, isn't it? We don't agree with that. Do we? What are you doing, Frank, for Christmas lunch?
For Christmas lunch, I'm thinking. I was actually thinking of going and getting some cabrito.
Really? So that's kid, isn't it?
Yeah, and that would be wonderful. Marinate it nicely and have it for do a proper Portuguese Christmas lunch.
Sounds great. Mrs. M is here now. And while she's getting ready, actually, I need to take her off the screen. What have you put in my coffee? Is there a massive shot of booze of some sort?
She's getting back to you.
She is. Let me put your microphone up there now, Mrs. M. Oh,
I've got hair of the dog.
Okay. Yes. Do you want to describe to us how great your birthday was?
I got a little drunker than I usually do.
Yeah.
I haven't been
And that's
drunk. Well, actually, I'm not that much of a boozer these days, but
Okay.
I partied like I was 20
Yeah.
and ended up at
Very
the
good.
bar. And
Very good.
Carl almost phoned the police when I got home.
Well, I think
'Cause
we
I'd
need a
left-
bit more context here, don't we?
I'd left my keys. I'd lost my
Right.
keys, and I was trying to get in, and I was a little bit fragrant with my language as I was banging on the door, like asking,
like
him
Jack
to come in.
Nicholson, basically. Okay. And I was Jack. I don't think you should be hearing this. Basically,
Well, it's kind of a
Auntie
cautionary.
Louisa
It's kind of a cautionary tale
It is.
that
Don't
things
do
can
this,
go
kids.
wonky quite quickly.
Yeah.
But I did end up getting in. Go on.
I'm not even listening.
Good. Same old,
That's
same.
the attitude, Jack.
Very good. Excellent.
You're going
You
far.
should listen. I've got a joke for you here from James in a minute.
What?
Oh, okay. Sorry, Mrs. M's finished.
I
there.
finished.
Okay. But you're still not feeling 100%, are you?
No,
A
I mean,
day later.
Despite
lots of Coca-Cola and.
yes, and a
comfort
lot of
food.
kind of emptying of my gut.
All right, that'll do. Thank
Like
you. For
upwards.
Jack, my dad's name, by the way, this is from James. Why did Dad warn the children not to eat Christmas tree decorations? Jack, why did Dad warn the children not to eat Christmas tree decorations? At this point, I don't know. Why did Dad warn the children not to eat Christmas tree decorations?
We
Because
didn't want to get tinsel
Like this.
Jack's not feeling the vibe.
Come on.
Also,
Thank you,
Carl,
Sheila,
it's
yeah.
also Carl. He can actually just read it straight off the screen. So
Yeah.
Okay, the spirit of Christmas destroyed there by Mrs. M with the obvious. Another for Jack then. Here we go. All right. No, all right. I'm not going to let you read it off the screen. Jack, why didn't Rudolph go to school?
I don't know.
He was elf-taught. Oh dear. Okay, James, we need better. Get him over here quick. Hello, Mrs. M. Hello, belated happy birthday as well. You still look 20, so you partied your age.
that's
Check
so
him
sweet.
out.
Oh,
Man, you are a star.
that's actually very, very sweet.
All right.
Yeah, it is.
So I want your best memories of 23 and what you're hoping for in 24. Jack, can you?
Jack, have you got a joke for us?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right, hold on a
Why
minute.
did the bike stand up by itself?
Why did the bike stand up by itself? Is that
Why couldn't the bike stand up by itself?
Why couldn't the bike stand up by itself?
Because it was too tired.
That's very good.
I should be
Good
using
one.
Yeah, I should be using that a little bit later on. Okay,
You see, James, that's called a joke.
challenge on there. Sarah. Okay, so highlights from 23 then. We've asked Frank. Frank's moved along the Algarve a little bit to Tavira, and we were talking about how Tavira is no longer quiet in the winter. What about you, Bobby? I know you've had a busy year. What were your highlights of 23?
Ooh, there was a lot actually. I suppose getting healthy again after the sort of long illness thing, that was probably the best part of it.
Absolutely.
And getting back to work and how do you say, settling into our new house and getting back on track where I was prior to COVID, if you like. Hence, I actually got COVID this week as well.
Oh,
not-
really?
no.
Just to celebrate that anniversary.
And
Does that still happen?
Yeah, and
No.
we got it. We got it really bad this week, actually. Still recovering from it. So hopefully we'll be back on the mend for the how would you say, for Christmas Day and not give it to everybody else.
Have
But
you got a
I'm
house
about-
full this year, Bobby?
Sorry.
Have you got a house full this year?
Yeah. We've 13 people.
Wow.
Which is it's not big for us. It's normally quite a lot more than that. But we have family who've gone to Australia for Christmas as well, and so we'd like to say Happy Christmas to them.
See you, Jack. Hold on a minute. Got another. Yes.
Oh, no,
Okay. Yeah. Happy Christmas to the O'Reillys for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's gone. Oh, he's back with a sword. This joke better be good. Okay.
Oh,
Jack,
James.
what is? Oh no.
Oh,
What is
no.
What is Santa's go-to donut order?
No, James, you didn't. These are getting worse by the second.
I don't get that one. Okay, come on, James.
Jellyfield.
Okay, a
Jolly
Jolly
So,
Field.
yeah.
Well, we know what to get James for Christmas. A new joke book, for sure. Looking forward to 24 then, Bobby. What you got planned and what are you thinking?
Again, similar to this year, I suppose. Getting back on the road to where we were prior to COVID, and from a business point of view as well as a personal point of view, being able to travel again. Not because I know like a lot of people couldn't travel through COVID, but we were sort of what should stop with the stool. But yeah, getting back out there and sort of getting back to work. Really, that's the main thing for us. Like we plenty of stuff going on here, but with this D2 visa thing going on. It's sort of like the reinvention of the golden visa for us. So I'm looking forward to next year, sort of doing a bit of traveling and getting to meet loads of people.
Tell us about some of the exotic places you're going to. You've been to Dubai this year, haven't you, Frank? I think you might be popping there next year.
Last year.
Last year you went to Dubai. Okay. Where are you off to then, Bobby, on this tour?
Yeah, we'll probably do the Middle East. It'll be Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Kuwait, Qatar.
I'm going to Ireland.
We'll go to Ireland on
Looking forward to going to Ireland, Jack, by the sound of it.
And then we'll hit Malaysia, Singapore, etc. Usual sorts of spots that I normally used to go to. So it's that'll be the first tour. The
D2 tour. Actually, you could get some U2 tour T-shirts and just change the. How about that? I'd tie in with Bono and the boys. The D2 tour. Excellent. Well, that sounds very exciting. Have you got some more exotic travel planned, Frank? Because I know you like to get around. Well, you're just back from North America, aren't you?
Yes. I'm not sure. I might do Istanbul, I think, in January, and not the Middle East. But I'd like to this year. I think beginning of the year, what I'd like to do is Eastern Europe. Okay. I think that would be very, very nice.
Yeah, because we've had this conversation, haven't we? The EU has become synonymous with Europe, hasn't it? And of course, the EU is just about half of the countries in the European continent. So, where are you thinking of going in Eastern Europe that we should know about?
I don't know. I'm thinking Romania. Do that like that entire block, those entire block of countries, and go and check them out. It's not going to be work like Bobby. Bobby's making me look bad, man. It's not going to be any work for me, Bobby. It's going to be just a lot of going around and helping people out with their boozing needs. But other than that,
you could actually take some D2 leaflets with you.
Yeah, D2. I'll be taking D2. I'll be telling them, hey, D2.
Check it out.
Check it out.
We've got
Bulgaria, Romania. You know, those kinds of places.
Yeah.
Those are the guys we want coming in,
and we want postcards from you in those places as
well,
and live reports. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. M, and the rest of you gumpers on the screen. You're looking wonderful. Time does not affect you.
Oh, you're so lovely. Bobby and I have just had our birthdays, haven't we? So
who's this person kissing my arse? João. Oh, sorry, Jack. João.
Do you mind? Okay, we've got another one for you, Jack. Here. Why did Santa's helper feel sad, Jack?
I don't know.
He had low self-esteem.
That's very good.
Quit while you're ahead, James. This is not looking good for you.
He said, "Don't blame me. I'm just a messenger."
Later.
You know what we need to do? We just need to go to Chat GPT.
You just need to go to the pub.
No, hang on. Look, I'm going to look up some Christmas jokes.
All right, Mrs. M's
How old
on
are you,
that.
Jack?
How old are you?
What?
How old are you? What's your age?
9.
9.
No.
On Chat GPT, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll put Mrs. M in the research position for the moment.
Isn't that the AI stuff?
Yeah,
It is.
I'm going to get AI on it. Let's see if it will create some.
Actually,
jokes for us.
that'll be a good question for you. This is not a joke, Jack, by the way. But as a 9-year-old, what do you make of AI? Are they teaching you about it at school? And what are you and your friends saying about AI and how that's going to be in our world now?
Oh no.
You don't know. Never used it.
Me, I'm the same. I'm the same. I completely agree with you. Do they talk about AI at school, and is it part of your education?
No.
No, but online, I think he gets a lot of his education on iPad and YouTube and all these other
Guilt now. Yeah.
all these other guys that are using AI. So like he comes out with a lot of information that, let's say, he don't learn in school, but he learns in from online school, but wouldn't be exactly.
No, I totally understand. Totally understand.
But yeah, like the stuff he comes out with sometimes is like. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to do a bit more of the Christmas quiz for you now. You might want to take part in this.
Okay, some
as
of
well,
these
Jack.
are really quite erroneous. There's a couple of good ones.
Okay, all right. Back to Mrs. M then for some Christmas jokes for Jack this morning.
Okay, Jack, here's one for you. What do you call Santa when he takes a break?
What do you call
I don't
Santa?
know.
when you take a break?
Santa paws.
The pause.
All right. You outdid James there. Go ahead, ChatGPT.
We have got the whole of the internet, artificial intelligence, working on our behalf, and that's what you came up with.
Okay, no, there's a couple of others. One of them just made no sense at all. What do you get if you cross a snowman and a vampire?
What do you get if you cross the snowman?
Do you get?
Frostbite.
I don't know.
Frostbite.
Nice.
Right, last one from James, because this barrel is the sound of a barrel being scraped can be heard all around the world at the moment. Who hides? Oh, one for you, Bobby, ex-baker. Who hides in the bakery at Christmas?
Who hides in the bakery at Christmas?
Did you never find a mince pie at the bakery at Christmas time?
Very clever.
Ouch, my joke's
Very
bad.
good.
Okay.
Why was the snowman looking through the carrots?
Why was the snowman looking through the carrots?
Because he was picking his nose.
Well, that's a good one.
Wow.
Yes, Jack likes that one. There you
Okay,
go. Thought
good.
he might.
Jack liked that one. Only one joke Jack liked, up to his standard.
All right, Mrs. M, what are you hoping for? We've got peace, love, and understanding for Frank.
Okay.
He's looking for the world and himself.
Okay.
Bobby's looking forward to going around the world.
Yeah.
With the old U2 t-shirts, crossing out the U, putting a D2.
Uh-huh.
We're on D2 tour around the world
Okay.
with Bobby. What are you looking forward to?
Well, very selfishly, I'm just looking for a cessation of this hangover.
Very modest.
Very good. Very good.
I can't
Expected
pass
that from you.
anymore. And also a bit like Bobby, I want to get really healthy and trim in this next year, because my next birthday I'm going to be 50, and I want to see my 50s in looking like I'm 40.
No, I don't think that's going to be difficult, frankly. Okay, all right, very nice.
You're going to do it, Mrs. M. You're going to do it.
Thank you very much. We'll see.
Amy and Greg are here, who bought me this wine, which I'm going to try for research purposes this morning as well, and see what it's like. Not just for cooking or for children's lunch boxes.
It does look like it's just for cooking.
No, well, we'll find out in just a moment.
Does it have a straw on it?
No, it hasn't got. I was looking for a straw on the side of it, but I've had to bring my own festive straw for
That's
that
not
purpose.
reusable.
And Bosch Festus from Suze. Suze is with us this morning. So a nice full house of gumpers. Do let us know what your favourite memories were for 23, what you're looking forward to doing in 24. Discovery weekends. We're going to be in Kaldash having a beautiful curry at Flavours of India on the 17th of January.
That sounds great.
And how about this, Frank? Can you host us, the Englishman, the Irishman, and the Canadian fella in the British or in the English football strip go into a bar in Tavira? Can you help us out with that? What have you got planned for us?
For sure. We could. There's quite a bit to do over here, especially Conceição and Cabanas. Okay. I definitely won't be taking you guys to Murphy's. Let's just say that.
Okay, all right.
I think Bobby's expectations for a good point.
I
might
don't
be
think
a bit better.
Yeah, Bobby's not going to be unhappy about that.
I'm not a fan of Irish bars.
Yeah.
Outside of Ireland.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Why is it? Why is it? I've had this conversation, Bobby. Maybe you can enlighten us with this. Why is it that Guinness doesn't travel very well?
Because it's not the same thing, number one, and it's not treated the same, or it's a bit like, you know, when people talk about wine and how they manufacture wine and even say, why is one wine so expensive over another one? Because maybe it's a first barrel use, it's a 1 barrel use, etc. A lot of the Guinness that you get around the world, number one, it doesn't come from Dublin. It's actually manufactured in lots of other parts of the world, like Morocco and in Spain and so on and so forth.
Oh no!
Morocco.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it makes
a Guinness factory in Morocco.
That's exactly it. I've been drinking Moroccan Guinness. I'm not pleased with this.
It's made from pellets and things like this. But the other thing is that, just to put it in context, Guinness don't trust the Irish bars themselves to clean the taps and the pipes sufficiently.
The pipes.
That they actually send someone once a week to every bar in Ireland to clean the pipes and the taps and everything to do with the Guinness, because it makes such a difference to have a clean way for the Guinness to flow, but also how it's treated, where it's cooled. It's very, very strict in Ireland with regards to how the Guinness is maintained in every bar. Now, as you saw the other day, we were in Queenbrae in a lovely bar, and you got your pint within 1 minute, Carl.
Yes.
It came from upstairs.
Came from somewhere else, didn't it? That's for sure.
And I was like, I'm not touching it, you know. So like, I have Ricardo, you know Ricardo Cruz, who works for us.
Yes, yeah.
He went to the UK not too long ago, and he was I think he was in Birmingham or somewhere like this. But he said, I'm after getting the best pint of Guinness I'm after ever having here. He says, I see what you mean. The next day he was going to Dublin, and I told him, just get a pint anywhere in Dublin and just tell me the difference. And he rang me up and he says, you're so right. The difference between a pint in Dublin and even in the UK is completely different. It's not the same drink. So it's Guinness branded, or it's whatever it is, but it's not the same. Like I can't drink Guinness anywhere else, as I said, except in Ireland or in Dubai. Dubai actually have the same Guinness from Dublin.
And I'm just realizing something here. Go on, Frank. I can hold this.
Thanks to Bobby now, I won't be drinking any more Guinness outside of Dublin now. It's because it just doesn't taste the same.
It's horrible.
And it's like there's inconsistent, especially if you're now that I know that I'm drinking Moroccan Guinness. That ain't cool. Like, this is not going to happen. Not going to spend €5 of my well-earned euros on Guinness that's not even done anywhere close to Dublin.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing, isn't it? It's very expensive in Portugal as well. And as we were there in Portimao drinking those pints of Guinness, if I'd looked at you and we thought to ourselves, this has been made from pellets in Morocco, it really just wouldn't have been the same. And something's just occurred to me. The lyrics of Danny Boy are, oh, Danny Boy, the pipes are calling. Is that the Guinness pipes in the pub?
Yeah,
I thought it was some music. Oh, okay, fair enough. All right, fair enough. Now I understand. All right, we'll keep that quest going, and I can see the three of us in Temple Bar or somewhere. Or is that too touristy, Bobby? If you get
it is very touristy, but to be honest with you, they're very strict about the Guinness there, because they sell more Guinness there in Temple Bar, for example, than they will anywhere else in the country. And it's because when people go to Ireland, the biggest tourist attraction in Dublin, and actually not just Dublin, but in Ireland, is the Guinness Storehouse factory. And for good reason. It's actually quite fabulous. And you get a couple of real pints of Guinness on the highest bar in Ireland, overlooking all of Dublin. So it's a great experience to do it, like, you know. So I recommend it highly for anyone who wants to understand the difference. If you're ever going to Ireland, go to the Guinness Storehouse and you'll see the difference.
All right, we'll do that. We'll stick that on our list, Frank. Right, you're up for that, aren't you?
Absolutely. It's what about the ones in cans? Are they directly from Dublin, or are you going to tell me that they're from Shanghai?
No. Again, it depends on where you're actually buying it from, because it is made in different parts. It's owned by Diageo, which are made from all over the world. But for example, the Guinness actually brought out this thing for Ireland especially, and it's called nitrous Guinness. And nitrous Guinness, basically, it's like flat Guinness, but they made a device that creates a surge that would normally happen when you're pulling Guinness through an actual...
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at Jack yawning.
He's so bored.
I'm sorry.
Because I'm bored. You want to say goodbye to everyone? Huh?
Bye.
Yes.
That's yours. Jack, thanks for popping in. Thanks for popping in. Cheers, mate. See you later. Last one to your family.
Sorry, Jack. Guinness talk.
Give me €50, did he just whisper as he left?
What's he going to do with €50?
Budding entrepreneur, just like he chip off the old block there, an entrepreneurial finish. Thanks. So this system, is this the one you've got? The widget? It's not widgets, it's something else.
It's not a widget, actually. The idea is that it's like flat Guinness. So my son-in-law showed me how to do it. I done a demonstration on your show a long time ago. Actually, I think where we take a normal can Guinness, and you take a pin and you take the air out of it without cracking the widget that's inside the can. Because once you open a can of Guinness, the widget will explode and creates the fizz that allows you to have some similar sort of Guinness. But we have this actual, it's actually an electrical gizmo, if you like, that goes on top of the can of Guinness. I have 3 of them now. And once you take the gas out and you use this, it creates a surge, and it's as close as you're going to get to Guinness from Ireland. And it is, and how would you say? I don't know if you're able to post it again, Carl. I think I was actually quite shaky even that day that I was doing it.
Well, I think the celebrations had started early.
It was St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And I was probably after practicing a few of them earlier.
Very
good. So the thing is, but there is, if you look it up, Surge Guinness, Nitro Surge, sorry.
Nitro Surge. It
on
sounds
YouTube,
great. God, who doesn't like a Nitro Surge?
It also sounds kind of sporty.
It does.
You know.
It does. Right.
But
we've
they
had
sell it in separate cans, which says Nitro Surge, which is the sort of, it's flat Guinness basically. What my son-in-law found out was that when they opened it up to test what it was flat Guinness. So what they done was they started buying normal cans, which is much cheaper, take the air out of it, let the Guinness go flat, and then use it, and it came out perfect.
You know what? I don't mind the export, because export's flat, isn't it? They knew they weren't going to be sending like a boisterous or a gassy beer out of any kind, and it's almost medicinal, the stout, isn't it? That comes out under that old label. We've got lovely memories of 23. Same to Suze here, who says moving to Portugal is number 1 on the best of 23 list. Well done, Suze. And we will be eating the Finnish cranberry sauce on Christmas Day. Global Nobles Amy, moving to Portugal is number 1. And you sent me this wine, which I'm going to open now and have a little sip of that while we're talking. And I can tell you what.
Would you like a glass?
No, I'm going to drink it straight out of the carton with a straw.
Do it.
And someone else who moved to Portugal this year. Let's give him a nice big round of applause. Look at this fella here. Francis, how are you, mate?
Hey.
Portugal, how are you?
Doing very well, thank you. How are you doing?
We're doing well. We're chatting about Guinness, very traditional Portuguese drink here on the Christmas show of Good Morning Portugal. Oh, we're on the Baileys there as well, Bobby.
Yeah, because I had it in my coffee earlier. I made a Bailey's coffee, and I just said there was a bit left over. So you were going
Good man. Good man.
A bit left over. Whoops. Okay, well, cheers to you. Sláinte, chin, saúde, everybody. Francis, are you glad to be here now? It's been a bit of a challenging year, isn't it? So I'll drink to that to start with. And hopefully that's behind you soon. What's been going on for you?
We moved into an apartment, and then we found a house, and we decided to buy a house, and we spent a long time trying to get money out of South Africa. So
that's the thing.
We almost lost the house, but now we living in it. We lived in a Airbnb just on a month. So it's good to be here to spend Christmas in our new home, which is great.
Welcome,
and talk about
I mean, what a journey to come from South Africa, to struggle to get your wealth out of the country to buy your house here, and then live in an Airbnb with your 2 kids. I mean, that's been quite the journey for you.
And presumably your wife as well.
And your wife as well, of course. Yeah.
She was a bit more manageable.
Well,
unlike mine. Go on, Mrs. F.
So what was the problem with getting the money out? Is this something other people need to be aware of?
You get an allowance, an annual allowance that you're allowed to bring through, but we exceeded that by putting down 10% of the deposit for the house.
Right.
So we still had to get the extra to get it to 30%, and we had to make an application for it. But it was we took the deposit from our old house. So it was basically a swap, but it was a residence for a residence. But it was just, it was partly the fault of the people who we entrusted to get the money here. But it's one of those things that people should be aware of, that it can also get longer and longer.
Is that something you're working on, Bobby?
Yeah, we've been doing it for years, actually. We've been helping people from South Africa to reallocate to Portugal, and obviously that's one of the issues from a number of countries all over the world in moving your money. So we have people that we've been working with for years that help people to get around it, but to help them to understand the processes and to make the processes work for them, so they can actually get their money throughout. And that can be done by trust and things like this as well. So if you have any other friends that have the same issue, let us know. we can't really talk about it in great detail, but
Yeah.
it's very doable. Like we've helped a lot of South African people move.
Isn't that funny? I mean, it's not as if
That's
it's your
awesome.
own money, is it? Oh, hold on a minute. It is your own money. And trying to get it out of, that's extraordinary. But help is at hand. And we're so glad you've managed to put that behind you, Francis. So happy, healthy
May
New
I
Year
try
to
some of
you.
it?
Yeah, you can try this delicious wine that I'm drinking this breakfast time out of a Tetra Pack.
Nice.
Yes.
How is it? How is it?
Incredible.
It's not the end of the world, is it? I've had worse.
It'd be good on chips.
No, it's really not that bad. Amy, thank you. Send more. And by the way, just a point of order here from Joao F. By the way, Frank, I was not kissing your derriere. I was being nice to Mr. and Mrs. Munson. As you happen to be on the screen, I was just trying to be inclusive.
Very nice, Joao.
You know what? Trying to be inclusive is going to get people in a lot of trouble.
Oh my goodness,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Yes.
Yes. A cider for Frank there, I think. You should try what was it, Bobby? The Dickens cider.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah,
as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So perhaps we're coming to the end of this last live stream of the year. We'll be back on the 1st of January. We will be releasing videos because I just can't help it between now and then every day on the Good Morning Portugal YouTube channel. But perhaps a final toast or a suggestion. I'm all about the Summer of Love for next year. Come the 26th of April, after the 25th of April celebrations have subsided, we'll move into a Portuguese Summer of Love. The context is set for that, as you were saying, Frank. It's always a Summer of Love here. And here's another idea for a discovery weekend. An Englishman, an Irishman, and a Canadian go into a Portuguese restaurant in this is Portugal, isn't it, where Tiago Zeferino is. You've eaten here, haven't you, Frank? Should we go there? Should we go and see this wonderful man?
We should definitely go and see that.
All right, mate. Last Portugal, he is at Club Nautique, isn't it? Isn't it the same?
Yes,
club?
Portugal.
Tiago does his
Beautiful.
amazing stuff, and you broadcast live. from
Beautiful
there.
restaurant, amazing chef, wonderful guy.
Really nice man, and pops in from time to time. So we'll come and see you at some point, Tiago. So final words. It's a bit of a shame I don't really want to go, but Mrs. M wants to do a barefoot broadcast.
Yeah, and you're all welcome to join us there. We're going to get very merry and silly.
Get our new age on.
Yeah, we're going to get our new age on, and we've got all of the guest presenters that have been on the show since the summer. They're all coming, and we're just going to, I don't know, like wax lyrical about 23 and 24, and just have fun, really.
Yep. Okay.
So come and get drunk with us.
No, that's not the idea. I think it's quite the opposite, isn't it? It's very spiritual.
It took one sip.
Not kind of
We're just going to let our hair down a little bit and wrap up the show. It's been a good year.
All right, so let's go to the youngest first. I think we can safely say. What are your hopes for the new year? What are your final words here? Thanks for joining us on the screen.
Who is the youngest here? Francis.
He's got
of
to
course.
be, right?
Yeah, I hope so. No, but
Rude.
I think Louise is younger than me.
No, I'm
So-
not. I've just turned 49, so pretty sure I'm
Okay.
older
Well,
than
you
you.
look younger than me. Anyway,
Bless
yeah, I've been scarce this year, and I've missed you guys, and I hope that everything goes well for you in 2024. And I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we'll see you in the new one.
Oh, lovely. Much
Beautiful.
happiness to you and your family in the new year.
Thank you
Francis.
very much.
Up there in Porto as well. We don't have that many gumpers up in Porto, so it's lovely to have you up there reporting back and letting us know how the Dragons are getting on as well. So cheers, Francis. Talking of
I
football.
bought tickets for the Arsenal game.
You did? Oh, that's going to be
Yeah.
exciting up there, isn't it? Amazing. All
Yeah.
right. For you, Frank, from Owen, is that who's that Tony Blair behind him there? What's going on? Could you explain this picture, please?
What's Tony Blair doing in half? It's Owen. What do you expect?
He doesn't want to talk about it. Okay, your hopes or your final message, please, Frank, on this last live stream of the Good Morning Portugal.
No messages. Hopes more of this. Good food and health.
This is such a sad picture, really, isn't it? There's a guy drinking a Tetra Pack. There's a man drinking a can of cider and leftovers of Bailey's, allegedly for a recipe or a coffee earlier on. Bobby, a last word from you for this year?
I just want to say thanks very much to yourself, first of all, for having me on your show, and to Mrs. M as well. And I'd like to wish everyone a happy and peaceful Christmas. And I suppose to understand that Christmas is a great time of year, but there are a lot of people out there that it's quite difficult for as well. and just bear that in mind as well. That's it.
Yeah, well
That's
said.
really
Well
lovely.
said. We're around. You know, we've got various platforms where people can connect if they need to over this Christmas period. So yeah, well said there. Thanks, Bobby, and thanks for being here this year and joining our community in this year of 2023. Mrs. M, ladies first and last.
I really want to echo what you guys have all said, because you've nailed it. And I'm just really grateful that there are these communities, you know, that there are these places where people can come and hang out. And like echoing what you're saying there, Bobby, you know, this is a place where people can come and hang out, and they can, you know, get support from each other. You know, we don't even have to get involved. You know, people are like helping each other in the chat room and stuff. And I think the power of community, if we can take that forward in 2024, I just think there's going to be some great changes.
Marvelous. Excellent.
Okay,
Of course, sponsored by Continent Vinho Branco for the new year. So if we don't get any free wine from Continent or from Guinness or some Guinness this year, I'll be really surprised. Thank you, or Bailey's. Yeah. Anyone else?
I'd love some Baileys, actually. That'd be really nice.
And Frank's wants some of that cider, Santa, as well, if you're watching. Okay, well done, everybody. And thanks, everybody, in the comments for being here this morning and throughout the year. Great job. I don't want to go, but we have to. Got to make way for the Barefoot broadcast. And what a fantastic year it's been in many ways.
If you want to join us on the Barefoot broadcast, just go to YouTube and type in the Barefoot broadcast and go straight to live.
Yeah.
And then subscribe to it and come and join us.
Nicely done. And not to be confused with their bottom broadcast. Okay, thanks everybody. Take care. Bye for now. Happy Christmas. And a fantastic 24. Ciao.
Bom dia, Portugal!
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.